What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Summer Career Mode. This is episode number 23 and we're starting today's stuff with our fixtures for September. As you can see, the Cherries away, Marseille at home in our first ever European game at Selhurst Park. The Foxes, Everton is the team we'll be drawn against in the EFL Cup third round, and a trip to Cyprus ends the month off in our first away day on Thursday night European football as well. And also bid for Nathaniel Klein as well, this time from RB Salzburg, once again rejected. I don't think, to be fair, the clubs that have put in bids are that unrealistic for Nathaniel Klein, but I still believe he probably will finish his career in England or perhaps in the MLS as well. But to start today's episode off, it is indeed Bournemouth away from home. Now, they survived last season. I don't think they're going to survive this year. Why is that? Oh, yay. Come on. Really? Why is a left back playing in goal? Why is Etienne Green at right back? Oh, God. Yeah. So, to start today's stuff, Cherries away from home, and you might be sitting there thinking, have they not got any goalkeepers? Yeah, they do. One's playing right back in this former St Etienne goalkeeper Etienne Green, and they also got Mark Travers on the bench as well. Fair enough, Freddie Woodman's gone back to the Magpies after a loan spell, but they've still got two fully fit goalkeepers in their matchday squad, but neither of them are between the sticks. So frustrating because, I mean, we all know that one of the big bugs of this year's FIFA is players playing out of position. How many times do you see perhaps a centre-half playing right back, or you've got a midfielder playing as a striker, which I guess wouldn't be that unrealistic, but you do sometimes see players that are playing in bizarre positions. And this is the second time this has happened to me. Now, if you watch my main career mode at the start of the year, with Brentford, AC Milan and Real Madrid in our final year of the save at the Bernabeu, there was a game against Real Sociedad where Calvin Phillips was in goal for Real Sociedad. Yeah, and I didn't think I'd see it ever again, but here it is. Yeah, Jordan Zamora, the Zimbabwean, is a left back, but in the game, he's currently between the sticks of the Cherries. Oh, I felt kind of sorry for him. That second goal, I mean, that was terrible, wasn't it? Couldn't really do much about the first or the third either, but even. So I just knew in this game, get a couple of shots on target. I'll take an early 2-goal lead. We led through 2 Edouard goals in the first half, and Eze made it 3 soon after the restart. And again, it's bad enough if an outfield player's in goal, but you could say maybe due to terrible AI transfers, no one got a goalkeeper that's fit in their squad. Maybe only got one goalkeeper and he's injured, for example, but Etienne Green is playing right back. Zamora is in goal. I mean, okay, not every fullback can play on the opposite flank just as well. But I'd like to think Zamora would probably do a little bit better at right back than he would in goal. Yeah, unbelievable, right? So we're 4-0 up, absolutely cruising. Eze bagged a brace in the second half. Edouard got 2 in the first as well. And just past Jan Mark Hill, Willock had a chance to make it 5-0. And Zamora made the save. Go on, Zamora. We turned the rebound in through Decore for his first of the year, but it was eventually flagged for offside. But Zamora made a save. I was buzzing to see it. Go on, Zamora. Game was done, but it was nice to see him make a stop. And there were 10 minutes to go. Oh, I had to include this. Cross to the far post, headed over by Willock. And what does Scott Parker decide to do here with 10 minutes to go? He takes off Zamora and brings on Mark Travers. Yeah. Just a word of advice, Scott, come full time. It might be a better idea to start with a goalkeeper than bring him off the bench for an outfield player with 10 minutes to go when you're 4-0 down. Just a little bit of advice to help you going forward this season. So frustrating because again, there's no need for it. There really isn't. And again, this is what really frustrates me with EA. We talk a lot about the game and how immersion breaking moments and realistic breaking moments can oftentimes be the key factor in what stops you from wanting to carry on when that sort of stuff happens. And I have to say, like, as someone who's played the game for over 2 decades now, I can forgive the occasional bug. I can forgive the occasional glitch. What I don't like is that in an era of patches, back in the day, you got yourself a disc, you put it in your PlayStation 1, and the game you got is the game you were stuck with for the entire year. But in the era of patches and EA releasing multiple during the year, the issue I have is them being totally aware of these bugs and these glitches, but not deciding to fix them. That's what frustrates me more than anything else. Now, back in the days of FIFA 15, FIFA 16, I don't remember seeing goalkeepers starting that were actually outfield players. This hasn't been in the game up until very recently. You know, perhaps if your goalkeeper got sent off, for example, there's a moment actually in one of my FIFA career modes, going back a bit now, back in FIFA 15 I think it was, there's a moment where Matuidi went in goal for Liverpool in a cup final when I got Mignolet sent off when I was managing Arsenal. So, like, that is realistic, because it's what would happen in real football. We've seen it. Harry Kane's played in goal. Kyle Walker's played in goal. And so on and so forth. You know, during times where a goalkeeper's been injured and the teams have made all 3 subs, or there's not a sub goalkeeper on the bench. Neil Warnock was famous for that back in the day, you know. That can happen. But in no world would a manager who's got 2 totally fit goalkeepers start one at right back, have one on the bench, and start a left back in goal. And that didn't happen up until recently. EA are fully aware of this bug. Why is that? It's been reported on their community pages, and they haven't fixed it. And that's what frustrates me. You know, there was an episode I did of this career mode not long ago where I talked about what EA should do with career mode. And I asked you guys for suggestions and opinions on what you think EA needs to do moving forward with the game mode. And I was very honest. I was very, very honest. I'd love to see online career mode. I'd love to see classic teams. I'd love to see scenario-based career modes where you take over mid-season, for example. But before we get there, EA, can we please just fix these bugs? Please, please. It's so frustrating. It really, really is. And I know it's not just happened to me. I know some of you guys have had the same experience as well. And again, we're in an era now where people really like realism. You know, this is my second realistic career mode of the FIFA year. I did one a few months ago as well, starting off with Southampton. I'm noticing a lot of different trends based on the comments I get and the feedback I get on my social media. I'm noticing there's a difference in trends now. Like, a lot of people favour the more realistic elements of a career mode save. Not just in the career modes they do, but the career modes they watch as well. It's why I'm trying to make my career modes more realistic moving forward. You know, especially this one where the primary goal is on realism. It's hard to do that on its own with the crazy AI transfer market and so on. It's even harder to do it when an AI club is starting a goalkeeper at right back, has 2 healthy goalkeepers, one's on the bench and one's at right back, and you've got a left back starting in goal. You know, it's very frustrating indeed, isn't it? Even so, for the following game, first ever European game at Selhurst Park, and I was looking forward to a dream debut on Thursday night, but that dream turned into an absolute nightmare. After Wilfried Zaha, who basically led us here last season with his heroics in the FA Cup semi-final, after we went on to win the whole thing, beating Man City in the final, scored our opener, it seemed like it was going to be a dream night. I gave him the captain's armband as well. I thought that was a really cool fit. But goodness gracious me, 3 minutes later, it just totally flipped. Marseille dominated after that. I had some good chances. I hit the bar as well. But Scamacca and Sigurdsson, Gylfi Sigurdsson and Gianluca Scamacca ran the show. Gylfi bagged a brace, the former Everton midfielder, and also Scamacca, the new signing for West Ham. I'm excited to see how he gets on under David Moyes next season. Bagged braces each in a 4-1 loss. What is it about European opening nights in FIFA 22 for me? I seem to really struggle. I seem to really, really struggle. Big loss there to Marseille. And I said in the last episode when the group was drawn, this ain't going to be easy. This ain't going to be easy. All 3 of our opponents have spent quite a lot of time playing the Champions League. Sparta Prague, Apoel and Marseille as well. I took the French side as the favourites and have made a statement on matchday 1 in South London. 4-1, the worst possible start for us. So into the following game, back to matters in the Premier League, but staying here at Selhurst Park. Let's just say I needed to make amends. 2 defeats in our last 3-0 competitions, now taking on Brendan Rodgers, Leicester City. I had to make amends in this game. The Foxes last year had a really good season in the game, qualifying for the Europa League. I needed to make sure I made amends in this game, and what a fantastic start. Dean Henderson with an assist. You love to see a goalkeeper assist, but then 21 minutes in after Zaha scored the opener, we did see a bit of bad news. Abrechi Eze goes down, stays down, would soldier on, I felt it would be a bruise, and as you'll see come the end of the game, that's what it was as well. 1-0 the final score, though, Zaha with the goal. Where would we be without Wilfried Zaha? Well, I'll tell you right now, not playing in Europe and not having an FA Cup winners medal on my mantelpiece as well. Even so, won the game by a goal. So, no, really poor game that one, to be honest. Very little going on, but even so, got the win, grounded out, we grinded it out, and I'll certainly take that. So, for our final game of today's episode, Everton in the EFL Cup third round. You'll see here another bit from Nathaniel Klein. Once again, real briefly on this, I don't think these clubs are too unrealistic for Nathaniel Klein. I guess you possibly could see him at PSV. You possibly could see him at Fenerbahce, for example. I just do believe he will. Once he eventually gets released by Crystal Palace, he will stay in England. He's been in England his entire career, so I just think he will stay, you know. I'm not saying it's hyper unrealistic, but I think based on what we've seen in Nathaniel Klein's career so far, it would be slightly unrealistic. It would be more realistic for him to go to an English club, maybe a championship side, for example, after his time at Palace comes to an end. Even so, rejected that bid there, and he's staying at Palace. And I think what I might do as well is give him a 1-year extension too. His deals that come at the end of the year, because he's 31, he can be poached away on a free transfer in January for next season. I might give him a new contract, because I like him as a backup for Max Harris, to be fair, and then maybe look to shift him on next season in the summer, as opposed to losing him on a free transfer. I guess we'll wait and see. Even so, final game indeed was Everton taking on Frank Lampard's Toffees, EFL Cup third round. Once again, you saw my lineup here. There were a couple of starters out there. There were a couple of starters for this game, but for the most part, much weakened side heading into this one. The EFL Cup, our fourth and lowest priority this season, but last year we got to the last 16, and of course we won the FA Cup as well. I do quite well in the domestic cups in England nowadays, so I wasn't surprised. Whilst I did rotate a lot on my side, we still came through with the win. Final score, Palace 2, Everton 1. And we're into the last 16 of the EFL Cup. So, you never know. Had a good cup run last season in the EFL Cup, losing to Brighton on penalties in the last 16. Obviously, we were a seconds away from reaching the quarters. And we won the FA Cup as well. So, domestically, in the Cups, I got a reputation of FIFA 22 of being a Cup King. We started off well in this season too. Into the last 16, we'll find out our opponents in the next episode. But that will end today's episode of the Really Summer Career, guys. Big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you haven't, drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic Summer Career Mode. Do you think Bournemouth are going down this year? In Escott Park changed it up? I think so. I'll see you for the next episode very soon.